Hi, this is Dawn Reby, and I'm back again teaching you, sharing with you some ideas around how to build analytical legacy. And one of the key things that I'm teaching right now to our group over in WISE and in some of our other programming is a professional development roadmap. So, how do you recruit and retain quality analysts? Well, one way is to build out professional development roadmaps. This creates so much clarity as to what your expectations are and what the analyst needs to do to be successful at your agency, right? So I see a lot of folks onboarding new analysts with things, right? They'll say in the first 2 weeks, you're going to visit with patrol. In the second week or a third week, you're going to learn our RMS system, our records management system, our CAD system. Week 4, you're going to understand, our policy. Week 5, you're going to understand mapping, right? So they have kind of these generic like things to do. But what they don't have and what they don't post and what they don't tell people specifically is the skills that they want them to develop, right? That's way more important than the things that they want them to do. I see so many agencies say you're going to go to this conference and this training and fundamentals and this all these things to do, but instead we should be focusing on what does competency look like. We should be talking about what skills do we want them to develop. We should be encouraging them to have concrete ideas, right, of really what it means. For instance, you can kind of have a spreadsheet that says the core competency area, right? Maybe you want them to understand the Sarah model, different types of crime patterns, maybe understanding crime trends and some temporal analyses, right? Why? Temporal analysis is going to help when we're doing pattern analysis. It's going to give us, our next hit locations. And so the Sarah model is going to help us break down problems in our community into digestible and research-based methods, right? That we can really implement some change around, right? And we can assess that and measure that and so forth. So instead of telling people to do things, instead of having your analysts just do a list of things like go to this training or that training, talk about the skills that you want them to develop, right? You want them to know Excel. Why? Why do you want them to know Excel, right? Instead, you might want to say something like threshold analysis. We want you to be able to perform a method that allows us to see increases and decreases in crime. And one of the methods is threshold analysis, right? And so that certainly involves Excel, right? Understanding different Excel. So if they don't understand Excel, they're not going to get to threshold analysis and they're not going to be able to give you, those increases and decreases in crime over, the 3 to 5 year average. And so instead of, talking about the things, really develop your roadmaps to be a progression of subject expertise that you want them to have. So instead of saying, I want you to learn Microsoft Access, instead of that, you can say to the analyst, my goal is to help you have the most efficient and effective systems and to automate this amount of reports, right, that are due, and so we can free up your time for analysis. So those are the skills I want you to have. I want you to have automation skills. I want you to have pattern analysis skills, predictive skills, and so forth. So how do we get you there? In that instance, you might write your skills, and then way over here, you might say, here are some ways to get there. There's an IACA, International Association of Crime Analysts course. There's an Analysts course, right? The International Association of Directors of Law Enforcement Training and Standards and Training course, right? You might say there's an Intel course, or you might say, I want you to sit with another police agency. Or you might say, here's a list of potential ways that you can learn this. YouTube, right? You can find Dawn Reby on Excellence in Analytics on YouTube and learn a variety of things, right? Maybe you go to our WISE program, right? So there's all different ways for analysts to learn skills. So we should focus less on the ways, less on the how, and more on the why, the purpose, the skills that we want them to have. So truly, this is building analytical capacity means that you're helping people see the vision, the why, and you're not necessarily doing all the whats, right? The what will come. There's always going to be training. There's always going to be things out there that are going to help someone learn. And someone might even learn by using ChatGPT, right? Teach me how to do this. Or they might, use some other modules. They might feel more comfortable in mapping, or they might feel more comfortable in another area. Maybe, ArcPro versus MapInfo. So the thing is, don't get too attached to the how. Don't get too attached to go to this training, that training, that training. Instead, talk about the skills that you want them to develop and then utilize the professional development roadmap as an evaluation tool. So if you've never created a roadmap before, if you're interested in learning how, you can definitely reach out to us at Excellence in Analytics, and we can help you build your roadmaps as well as a ton of other legacy building tools as you build your analytical legacy at your agency.